Pancake Morning here on Stream of Thought, episode number 94. And today, Victor and I delve into the world of Kiwanis.
Yeah.
And a cool little breakfast that took place at a local church
Free
nearby.
pancake breakfast.
Free pancake breakfast. And my goodness, we didn't expect it to be an eventful encounter, but I think it gave us quite a bit of talking.
A couple interesting interactions that we had.
Fascinating interactions.
And then we spend most of the time, or the rest of the time, playing a little game of 3 wishes. 3 wishes that we could have, and the answers will surprise you.
Just rub that lantern and see what comes out.
It's fun. It's enjoyable. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
You just heard that.
All right, episode 94, Stream of Thought. We hope you enjoy. Let's just get into the episode.
Oh. Man, it's a little morning so far.
Yeah.
It's been quite the experience.
That was great.
Saturday morning, a little bit of pancakes going on.
Kiwanis free pancake breakfast
At Methodist Church.
that Riggs almost didn't want to go to.
You know, it is a funny sort of series of events.
This is what happened. I go to Rick's house, pick him up. I said, "Hey, where's Methodist Church at?" Why? Free pancake breakfast. Let's go. No, I just want to record. But then we leave his house, and he's like, "You know what? Turn around. I'm gonna change clothes, and we'll go." And we go, and what happened? Who'd you run into?
It was an incredible experience. So first of all, my mom was there.
Yeah.
Because she was going with a friend. But then I ended up seeing a guy who I hadn't seen in years.
Because before that, you said, "You know what? If you want to go, and this is a sign. Like we'll go. There's a reason for us to go."
There's a reason you brought it up. And so even before we had gotten there, I was like, you know what? Why not? It's my last couple of hours in the area, so why not? Like, let's do it. And so ended up seeing Jack Breezer, who is like an elder of the church that I grew up in. He's known me since I was a baby. Like, he's always been there. Like, and so getting a chance to run into him because he had to deal with chemotherapy from cancer a couple of years ago. So the last that I had heard years ago is that he was still recovering, and so was kind of in a weaker state and in recovery, and the prognosis was uncertain. And so to see him here, like, he comes up to the table, I look up, and I'm like, that's the same face that I've known since childhood. Like, it's the same, like, oh my God. And so, I don't know if you saw my face, but like...
Yeah, you lit up.
I mean, my God, I felt like just joy at seeing this fatherly type figure that I hadn't seen in years. And so ended up getting up, giving him a hug. Man, he gave a strong hug. He gave a firm hug.
Burly hug.
A burly hug. He is still doing great. You know, just sped away afterwards. He's just like, hey, you know, wanted to say hi. Like, we miss you. Like,
and he walked up. Was it after that one guy who came up and
talked? Oh yeah, no. This was like the cherry on top of what was a very interesting experience, because we go in and I tell Victor, it's like, oh, I think my mom's there. Like, as we're heading there, and Victor's response is, you know, I just want to go in, like, eat some pancakes and go. Like, I don't want to get sucked into like weird conversations with random people, or like talk to your mom for a couple of minutes and then get talk
and
to
then
her.
she leaves, and we're talking to her friends for like another half hour
or something like that. And that didn't happen. However, we walked in. Victor assumes that it's like a buffet style, so you like get your own.
Well, yeah, that's how it was a Boy Scouts did it last time.
We're standing around like a bunch of doofuses, like not knowing what everyone else seems to know, which is you just take a seat and they serve you kind of thing. And so we're looking at each other like, what do we do? And then a guy comes up and he's like, hey, like, what do you guys want? And it's like, oh, well, we're just here for pancakes.
Yeah.
And so he's like, oh, take these seats.
Right.
And they happen to be right there
at the very end of the table,
in the most prominent spot of like...
right in front of where the kitchen is.
Right in front of where the kitchen is.
Yeah.
And there's no one sitting in the seats like like directly next to us.
Yeah.
So there's like we're kind of on an island.
Yes.
It's like it's clear
Yes.
that we are like segmented.
So it's great because anybody walking out of the kitchen will see like, oh, these guys might need more juice,
Right
more pancakes,
away. Oh,
maybe
my
need
goodness.
some butter. Like
we had what, like 3 people come up and ask.
Yeah.
3 or 4 people
Yeah.
come up and ask.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys good? Like,
no, we're good. Your
No,
friends
we're
just
good.
came up. Yeah.
and this is also like staffed by or run by. I guess they're Kiwanis kids or something like that.
Probably.
But
I
they're
don't know.
like. Did
They're
you
like
see
high
it?
school age.
They were, and I didn't really see
like
any.
Glenbard South.
Yeah,
kids on it.
Glenbard, like high schoolers or whatever, running it. And
We're helping it.
they're-
Yeah.
And in my experience going to this, I've been to it a couple of years, and it all was very polite. Like, it's a very
Yes.
friendly environment. It's just a really great experience. But we're sitting there, and we're waiting for the pancakes. And this is before I see Jack, and we're just sitting there. We had just said hi to my mom, and so we're hanging out. This was after we had said hi, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so
we're
it's in the
sitting
middle. We're just chatting, and a guy just walks up to the table and
I
stands
see
there
this
for
dude
a
in
moment.
the corner of. I see this guy in the corner of my eye standing there, and I'm just like, nope. I'm just gonna keep eating right now because I know being in a church like this is Rick's domain, so I'm gonna let him take the lead on
Really?
on
That's
any
what you were
interactions
thinking?
that we have.
Really?
Yeah, and any
Oh, wow.
interactions we have. Because when we walked in too, I was like kind of confused because we walked in. There's like a couple different tables that people are sitting at, and it looked like they have like lock boxes. And there's like some papers. So I'm like, I don't really know what's going on. Like, do we see them? And I turn, and all of a sudden, like, you're already halfway down to where the tables are. I'm like, okay, Rix knows exactly what he's doing.
Oh.
So I just followed you.
Okay,
And then you're sitting there,
okay.
like, and then you're like, and it's like, oh, this is smart. Like, I guess we walk through this door to go to the kitchen because I'm thinking it's buffet. He's like, okay, where do you want to sit? I'm like, what? Wait, what? Where are the pancakes? Where are the pancakes? We sit down. This guy is asking us, like, what we would like, sausage or juice or whatever. Super, when you walk into these places again, like everyone, super friendly, very
The most
good
friendly.
auras from everybody.
Yeah.
This one guy walks up, he starts talking. Within like 5 seconds, I'm like, there's something off with this guy. This guy is like a little weird.
I mean, he was also very friendly when he approached us. Is like I forget what he had said to his opening statement.
His opening statement, his pitch or his hook, so to speak, was something like, it's like, oh, you two young men are,
Look like men of honor.
yes, you look like men of honor. I just
that
wanted
was
to let
the
you
first
know.
thing he said to us,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it's like, wait, what? Like that's probably
Oh.
what gave you an indication there was something off. It's like that's not normally how you.
Well,
open a
honestly,
conversation.
I honestly like my first guess was like he was in his brain. He was walking by and like God told him to come say hello to us because he was friendly, but he was a little like the level of friendly was like a little on the loopy side,
like
a little
there
bit.
was an
Like-
intention without an intention to talk to us.
Yeah.
like he had a mission to like engage us, but he didn't know where that
What-
mission was leading to.
Exactly.
It's like I'm going to engage
exactly.
them and see what happens, and
It was almost like he was expecting us to then like
respond and
respond in a certain way and
Yeah.
lead the conversation, and he didn't know what to do because he just kept saying the same thing over again.
yes.
And it was just like after a while I was just like, this is just weird.
The whole interaction
This
was
is
probably a total of like maybe 3 minutes at most. I feel like
yeah, it
At
was
most. But it
much longer
felt-
than
it
necessary.
Felt like it really dragged out because he turned away twice. I think.
Yes.
Like to go, but then he turned back and
he turned away and he took a couple steps, and then
yeah,
he walked back.
Walked back, and like one of those times he's like, "Oh, so what's your names?" Like kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then another time.
He's like, you're like Rix. What? Yeah, Rix. All right, yeah. 'Cause I'm like, oh, my name's Victor. Victor. And then I stopped paying attention for a second, and he's just like, blah blah blah, CHS. And I'm like, wait, what? Like he was spelling the name that I thought he heard, that he thought he heard. I'm like, what? No, Victor. Oh, Victor. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. And you, Rix. Okay. Yeah. Again, you guys are men of honor. You look like fine, genuine men. Like, bro. Like you said this 5 times already.
And it's like, well, yeah, and I'm trying to figure out a response that's just like, well, thank you, I guess.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm looking down at my pancakes
I'm-
eating, and I'm kind of looking at Rick's and looking at this guy through the corner of my eye and seeing what Rick's is gonna do.
Because, like, I mean, it's not like I haven't gotten those comments before in a professional setting. So it's like deflection is kind of something that you're taught from an early.
Yes.
It's not is to be like people may say like really awkward things of like you're a great
Yeah.
young person.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like you don't know me, like kind of thing. But at the same time, you'd be like, you know, they mean well, like they have a
Yes.
good intention. You don't want to be like mean to them because you know they're talking to you because
Yeah.
they feel like they're meant to talk to you for some reason and all that. It's like, okay, like I'm like, well, what's your name? And it's like he's like, I teach piano here. I'm just waiting for a student to arrive.
Dude, I was so hoping that you weren't like, oh, Victor plays a little bit of piano. I was so hoping you were not going to say that.
No, I wasn't looking to engage there.
Good.
But yeah, no, I was like, yeah, he seems like a man who is directed by the voice of God to engage people. Like he feels called to do certain things. And yeah, I mean, it just I know those type of people are not unfamiliar to me, but it was a very jarring experience to have that happen so many years out of ministry because like you're used to dealing with those type of people on a daily basis, and 3 years later, it's like, ah, yes, I remember this type of person.
I was thinking too. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna judge this guy right away. Maybe he was maybe in his early 70s, probably late 60s.
Late 60s, yeah.
And one of my thoughts was that, you know what? Maybe this guy, I'm sitting here thinking like this guy's super weird, but you know what? Maybe he's just trying to step out of his comfort zone, meet and talk to new people. And when you're doing something new for the first time, it's not always smooth. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but evangelists, he struck me as an evangelist, somebody who goes out and spreads the word, right?
Okay.
Who likes talking about that sort of stuff. And that's probably maybe why he was probing. It's like, well, if they say something Jesus-y, like, I can have a Christian. I can have a Christian conversation with these folks. They are young men of honor because they follow the Lord, kind of thing. I'm guessing that's sort of what the subconscious, because as he was going to go, he's like, he said something like, religious towards the end. He's like, have a
peace be with you.
Or I don't remember exactly what it was, but I responded. I was like, thank you, and like have a blessed day or something like that. And he turns back, and there's a look you couldn't see because you were kind of facing.
Yeah.
But he looked. He's like his eyes were like they like, oh, well, he just said something. He said a trigger word.
Yeah.
Like, have a blessed day. Like for evangelicals,
I'm going back
it's a
for
trigger
round
word.
2.
round 4.
Round 4.
Round 4. Yeah. So as soon as I said that, I started looking at his eye. I'm like, oh shit. And so I looked away immediately because it was I don't know. It looked like in his eye he got the answer he was looking for, and I just looked away. And so I was like, aha!
I gotcha.
So
because also near the end, I just remember like looking down and like you talking to him. And I remember, like, even you were trying to, like, pull something out of your ass to, like, talk to with this guy because he was saying something, and then you reply with, like, yeah, it's a, great community, organizations like this, getting to, like, some bullshit answer that, like,
so generic.
Just so generic that you just kind of
it's
say.
a wonderful event.
That you just kind of say to just kind of put some fluff in the air, hoping that would satisfy this guy's, curiosity and walk away. But it was odd. It was weird.
It was a great experience though. That was fun. It was filled with like very memorable experiences.
Yeah.
Wow, I did not expect that heading in, but
no,
there was a reason.
But what I did like was that guy who served me the pancakes, the middle-aged gentleman who we interacted with. Going back to like again, he was just super good, or like it made him happy to serve us. Like, hey, would you like? He was just so because there was a difference between there's a difference between that guy serving us and like if you're at a restaurant or something like that.
Such a difference.
Because you could tell he was like really taking his time. He was engaging. He
wasn't just serving you. He was serving.
Yes,
like, he was serving.
Yes, he was being
He was being
exactly.
a servant of service to others.
Yes,
and which is like the embodiment. It's like a totally different vibe.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, I forgot how wonderful an event like that is.
Yeah, and then like after him, like 3 or 4, I think it was like 3 different high school girls came up like, "Are you good? Can we get anything?" He's like, "Your friend was just here like 10 seconds ago."
Yeah,
we're good. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So Methodist Church, Kiwanis Pancake Breakfast
Yeah.
for Mother's Day. Great.
I think they said they
Mother's
do it
Day
every year
weekend.
for Mother's Day, right?
Mother's Day weekend. Yep. Great job.
Yeah, I'm so happy that
Shout out, right?
Yeah, shout out to Victor
we
Marquez.
never do shout outs, but
No.
we'll shout out. I'll shout
Yeah,
out.
Rick's I was funny because you were like, "No, I want to record it." And I was like, "I could do that, but I kind of want to go to this pancake breakfast."
I did not expect the fruits of our journey to be as bountiful as they were.
Yeah.
Wonderful thing.
So, real quick,
Yes.
if you found a genie with a lamp, or if you just had 3 wishes, what would they be?
God, 3 wishes. Okay, well, let's set the parameters, because I feel like the wish game tends to be a little vague, right?
Okay.
Because, like, people can wish for, like, very generic stuff. Let's be a little cruel in this scenario and say, you gotta be, like, precise with your wish.
Yes.
Like, you if you wish for something, we're gonna play the game of, if you wish for, like I was telling you, if you wish for eternal life, a nuclear bomb will hit the Earth tomorrow, and you'll be the only one left for the rest of eternity. Like, you got to be precise with what.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I don't know why I was thinking about this, but
I keep thinking though, like I could wish this, I could wish that, but if I wish for all the money in the world, like I could make my other wishes come true.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing too, is that, like, I feel like one of my wishes is inevitably going to cover, like, something around money or something around finances, right? And I'm like, well, what's the best way to, like, think about it? Because I don't care about having unlimited money. Like, for me, when you seeing those people who are billionaires and trillionaires, or whatever the case is, the wealthiest people in the world, money
Jeff
for that,
Bezos, like 600 something billion.
money is just a number for
Yeah.
them. It's about power. So, like, money becomes insignificant after a certain level. Like, once you become a billionaire, money becomes more or less insignificant.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm like, well, I guess I would want to be free of financial constraints. That doesn't mean necessarily, like, having unlimited money, but it's like, I'm not the kind of person who's like, if you give me $1 million, I'm going to run out and
buy a bunch of shit.
Go to France, buy a bunch of shit, buy some houses, cars, stuff like that. I just want to live life sort of, on life's terms, and being free of financial constraints would allow me the opportunity to do that.
I was thinking it would be really cool, like, because
would be
we were
an
saying how
approach.
my laptop is like the model, just MacBook, but it's like a late 2008 model.
Yeah.
And so it's coming up on 10 years. And it still works great.
It does.
It works phenomenally. But it is just a little bit slow when you're opening up large programs like Logic Pro or GarageBand. But it still functions, almost flawlessly.
Yeah.
But it's great. But I was thinking, like, how great would it be, like, am I a millionaire? I don't need to be a millionaire, but how great would it be, like, oh, I need to go get a new laptop and not even think about how much it costs.
Yeah.
You just brand new laptop and not
get
even
the
to
one that's
work.
best for you. It's like,
just
not even get
not
the
have
one
to
that's
worry
most
about it.
expensive. It's just,
Yeah.
what's the one that suits you the best, that will meet your needs,
Yeah.
and, like, do what you want to do. Because, yeah.
Or like,
Yeah.
not that I have to like travel the world all the time, but it's like, I think this week I'm just gonna buy a business class ticket and go to Asia and Europe for a couple weeks and just stay in the nicest hotels and eat at the best restaurants, and you come back and then I'll mow the lawn. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Totally.
Like,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. I think one thing I would for sure do if I had 3 wishes, and I'll stay away from money because then it'll be more interesting.
Okay.
My first wish, for sure, hands down, one wish would be to completely eradicate animal cruelty at all levels. Number 1 wish.
Wow.
Across the board.
Wow. Animal cruelty. What do you define as animal cruelty?
I mean, it's pretty self-defining, yes.
Well, animal cruelty could be like you kill an animal to eat it.
Yeah.
That could be considered cruel. Are we
Well-
all going to be vegans then?
No. I mean, that's out of, I would be okay. I mean,
You're talking about in the spirit of, like, the Native Americans, where it's like if they kill a buffalo, they're
Yes.
going to use every single
Yes.
part of the
Yes.
buffalo.
Yes.
And they don't need to mass produce buffaloes
correct.
because they're using the resources that they have available, and that's sufficient.
Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
You said it exactly.
Okay. Interesting.
And
Yeah,
yeah.
that's okay. Yeah.
And I think of like all the stray. Well, this goes along with animal cruelty a little bit, but like I just want all the animals. I'll say this. This will cover all bases. I just want all the animals in the world to be happy. That's my number one wish. For wish all animals be in the world to be happy. That would then, pretty much get rid of all of the farm animals that feel like shit that are mass produced and kept in, never see the light of day. That would include, animals here in the suburbs that their owners don't play with them enough, or like they're just at a doggy daycare all day, or like they're in their kennel all day. That includes any animal, a lot in South America, like stray dogs and cats just all over the place. Like, just want them to be friends with each other and have people randomly like find them and like give them take them home, give them a bath, feed them a meal, and they go back on the street to play with their friends.
Sounds kind of like Eden.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I'll get naked and play in the garden.
Yeah, for sure. So animal happiness.
Wow.
Yeah, number one.
That
for
is
sure.
Fascinating. I would say it's so interesting because this actually wasn't something that I had been thinking about until you started talking about thinking outside the box with like animal cruelty, because like you think life, money, like personal stuff, right? And you went macro, you went like societal.
Okay, yeah.
And it's like, I think I would wish for women to hold a majority of power across the world.
Very interesting.
And to have the ability to reorient the kill or be killed structure that the current global political and cultural climates exist, like where it's a male dominated, like very like you got to be the strongest one, kind of like winning or losing, right? That they would be able to, that majority of women, and they would be able to reorient the structures of the rules of the game in the way that they understood and saw fit.
Okay. That's a very good one. Wow.
I feel like that could very well
I would
solve
be all for that.
I really think that could solve all of society's like if you think from a sense of when you have more women in power than men, the structure tends to be more collegial, friendly, and mutually building, as opposed to competitive of like you win or you lose. It's we can all win because a rising tide lifts all boats. I feel like solving diseases, like ending poverty, like all these sort of like basic fundamental things that we have the capabilities of doing. You have all these Bill Gates and all these wealthy billionaires who are like I may be a billionaire, but I don't have all the money to solve these problems. But it's easy to do. All you need to do is like organize society in this particular way, and it's like it would be so much easier to do, I think, if women were in charge.
Wow.
Personally, that's just my experience.
I will agree 100% with that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure how you would react to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It struck me. I think that would probably be my number one wish. Yeah.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
Another wish that I have, it kind of goes a little bit with the animal happiness. It intersects a little bit with the animal happiness, but that everybody on Earth would just be completely more aware of their actions that people don't really think about too much. For example, like I think of littering. I can't stand litter. I can't stand litter, dude. It drives me nuts. And if people were just more aware of, like, for example, like with plastic and plastic water bottles and how that shit always gets recycled. I think there's something real crazy, like, I have to look this up, but I heard that there's so much stuff that gets recycled that there's not enough stuff to produce to recycle everything that gets recycled.
I think I've heard that, yeah.
So let's say, like, for example, for every 10 plastic bottles that get recycled, only, I don't know, I'm just making this up, only 7 of them can actually be recycled and turned into like notebooks or another bottle, and the other 3 just get thrown in the garbage or something weird like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and a lot of times too, you do have stuff that people throw in recycling that is not like washed. For example, like if you throw a can in there that's not washed, they have to throw it in the garbage. Like, they can't recycle that. And so you have like people just not understanding how recycling works, and they think that they're doing it. Like they have a can of soup or whatever. It's like, oh, I'll just toss it in the recycling.
You gotta throw it in the washer and then throw it in recycling.
You have to wash it out. Yeah, you have to get all the crap out, and then you toss it. But people don't generally do that.
Same thing too, like at like on a more on a smaller scale. Like I hate when people think that they can just make a mess because it's someone else's job to clean up after them.
Oh my God.
Leaving a filthy hotel room.
Oh my God.
Or like at the movie theater and
the
just
entitlement.
Yes, and just like making a mess with your popcorn and food and leaving, or even at a baseball game and just leaving shit all over the place.
Yeah.
I can understand peanut shells because those are biodegradable, but like just leaving your crap all over the place for other people to clean up. How much time and money can be saved if you just clean up after yourself?
And I think there's a difference from the occasional absent-mindedness of like, you know, okay, maybe I forgot to like clean out the mini fridge of like that I had.
Right.
Like I brought a meal back from the restaurant and I accidentally left it in there.
Yeah.
Like that stuff happens all the time. Like that's fine. But to just be like, well, I don't care how messy my room gets, and you know, in fact, I may even like, you know, go out of my way to make a mess because I know that I'm not going to be responsible for taking care of it. Like those that have the intentional mindset of, oh, like if I was in my own home, I would not do this. But because I am in a place where I know someone else will take care of me, I feel no moral like qualms about acting in that way. It's like, well, you know, I would probably try and act similar in a place like a hotel.
Yeah.
In the same way that I would act at home.
Exactly.
You know, I'm not going to be jumping on the bed or like, you know, throwing shit out the wall. It's like, no, because that's just not, I wouldn't do that in my own home. So it's like just basic stuff.
My buddy, one of my friends from college, we were at one of my other friends from college was getting married. And we're in this town, I think it was like in Michigan. And we're in a hotel. And my buddy Nishita's like, yeah, dude. We had a cot delivered to our hotel room because it was like, you know, my wife and I and our kids and my mom was staying in our room as well. And so I had my mom, we had a cot, you know, and they have the cot and there's already like sheets and stuff on it, you know, the type they roll in and unfold. And I think he said like she discovered a pair of like dirty underwear in the cot. And so I told the hotel about this and and he's not the type that would be, like, irate. He was like, hey, guys, this happened. Like, I just want to let you guys know, but I will be, you know, how am I going to be compensated for this? Because this is unacceptable, you know? And so I think he got, like, his, he got, like, his room one or both nights comped or something weird like that. And then, like, something else happened. Like a real weird thing again that was like, this is like dirty or this is super what the hell, like something else happened. And then I think they also then gave him like a couple bottles of wine or something weird like that. But that just reminded me of when you were talking about hotel rooms, because I one time when I was a kid, I like opened up the closet and I found a pair of like dirty underwear in the closet.
Are you serious?
It's like dirty ass panties with what are they called? Streak mark, like shit stain marks on it. It was like fucking women's panties.
No.
Yeah. I was like 8 years old. I was like, what the fuck is this?
No. Where was this?
It was like in the closet, you know, like where you hang your coat.
Just a
and
random
everything.
hotel room, or
like
was this like, this wasn't like a 4-star hotel or anything?
It wasn't. No, I mean,
was it a like a
it was probably
Motel
like a Hilton
6 or something?
No, it was never a motel.
It was a Hilton.
We never stayed at motels.
Streaky underwear.
We always stayed in like nicer, not like super extravagant hotels, but like.
What did you do about it?
I was 8. I just left it there.
You didn't call up or anything like that. It's so interesting though that your friend is like, well, what are you gonna do to comp me? Like, what are you gonna do to like compensate for your actions, kind of thing.
I think that was a few years ago. I think that's what happened.
But it's interesting that you mentioned that, because kind of a tangent note. There was a recent article that I read on Vice News. I don't know if you've heard of Vice.
Yeah.
and there was this writer who was talking about is there such thing as too much free pizza? And he was explaining his foray into how he basically just gets free pizzas now, more or less, because when you order from a fast food chain, you like a lot of times they'll get the order wrong, or something will be wrong about the pizza, like something will be wrong.
Yeah.
And so like if you're somebody who orders pizza a lot, like, you know, a couple times a week or something like that, inevitably there's going to be something wrong with the order at some point, or like they can't get to you for like 2 hours or something like that. Whatever the case is, apparently all you have to do, and I think he was talking about Papa John's, but a lot of the major chains are like this. All you have to do is contact like the generic customer support thing and say, this was the issue with my order, like I wasn't totally satisfied. And he was talking about how like he would get a free coupon for pizza. And so it was like a cycle thing where he would be using the free coupons for pizza, and those orders of the free pizza would be coming in incorrect, and then he would let the generic support email know that order was wrong, and he would get more coupons for free. So it was just this endless supply of free pizza.
They were actually getting them wrong, or he would just say
no. It was there was normal, like it ended up building to the point where eventually he was getting so many coupons for free pizzas, because what would happen is that the generic customer support like tends to be manned of like, if you have a complaint, apparently their standard practice is to copy you a pizza the next time. And so anytime there's any issue at all, ranging from the order to the delivery to the service to anything else, like anything that there is an issue with, if you say that there's a complaint about the pizza to the corporate system, then you will get a response from them a couple days later with a coupon for a free pizza later or something like that, or like 85% off or something, something crazy like that. And he was talking about how basically it's the system that just it's the never-ending cycle of endless pizza. However, he told a friend about this, and a friend tried to do this, and after at one point he ended up emailing the store where he got the pizza from directly, and it was at that point the author of the article was like, so the one thing that you need to make sure that you never do if you want free pizza, make sure you never talk to a human being.
Yeah.
Like, that is the mistake you should never make.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you talk to a human being and they look into it, it's like, oh my God, they've gotten so many pizzas, the loop closes. No more free pizzas for you.
Yeah.
But as long as it's in the automated system of, if you've got feedback and something went wrong with your order, the automated system is going to just keep churning out free pizzas. You talk to a person, it's like, wait just a second, you've just gotten like $700 of free pizzas from us. And that's not going to happen anymore. And then they closed off the loop.
Make customer happy, happy customer,
Right.
free pizza,
Robot.
free pizza.
Yep. But then, etc. So anyway, it's like, it's very interesting that you can totally like take advantage of the.
Did I tell you about that time in
services.
college? Yeah, taking advantage of stuff for sure. But this was like a one-time thing in college. Did I ever tell you about when we got free pizza from Dominos?
No.
Because in my senior year of college, we lived right next door to Domino's, and there was a driveway in between our house and their establishment.
Oh, so like literally right next to Domino's.
Because
Wow.
and because like because it was on a hill, so like their restaurant was like level with our second floor of the house, because they were on, it was like a hill going down.
Okay, yeah.
And what happened was one time, like this delivery guy we're all hanging out outside, and this delivery guy from Domino's was like, hey, move your car. We need you to move your car. We're like, it's not our car. He's like, and the situation escalated very quickly.
Oh, I do.
It was like, move your car. And this guy, Jim, who's like just super like, like, hey, bro, it's not a fucking car. I want you back up. Hey, fuck you, asshole. No, fuck you, and this thing just escalated. And my buddy Tommy, he's always trying to like dabble, always trying to take advantage of the system, always cooking up something. And he emails Domino's corporate.
Yep.
And is like, hey, this happened. I don't appreciate us being treated like this. We come to Domino's so often, this and that and this. And he's, telling the infamous, half-truth. He didn't tell him that our friend was egging on the delivery guy, who was then egging on us, and it was just this endless cycle between two individuals.
Yes, but who were both in the wrong.
and that guy didn't even live at our house, Jim. And we're just standing there like, what the hell is going on? And so then Domino's, like their district manager, of that area, emailed him back and was like, we're so sorry. Or the regional manager, like, next time you go in, like, we'd like to buy you guys, comp you 5 pizzas of whatever you want, any topping, anytime, 5, large or extra large pizzas, whenever. And eventually, like, we're like, oh, cool. And then like a couple weeks later, we got the large pizzas for free. It's like, this is amazing. And it was just like,
not the same delivery guy, right?
No.
That would have been hilarious.
Pick it up. I think the guy got fired or something.
Wow.
I think they were looking for a reason to fire that guy.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I mean, if he's gonna try and get in a fight with like some frat kids while he's on
guess
the job,
whose car it was? It was Bill's car. That he was at our house and like he had parked it in the Domino's lot.
Of all people.
And it was something weird, like it wasn't parked forward all the way, so they couldn't get. It was some weird thing.
Yeah, just inconvenient enough.
A small matter that easily could have been avoided escalates into this huge thing. Tommy hits up Domino's corporate. We get free pizza.
Well, you know what's very interesting is that Jeff Bezos has a personal email address, jeff@amazon.com.
Really?
He reads all of the emails that are sent to him at jeff@amazon.com.
That's got to be thousands upon thousands of emails.
Yeah, he doesn't respond to them all, but he looks through them, or probably has a secretary look through it, and the secretary will like weed out the ones of like, oh, there's like, if for example you had a Amazon driver get stuck in your ditch next to your house, for example, twice, and I were to email jeff@amazon.com, it's possible that he could look into that. And what he does is he sends an email to the person who's directly under him, who runs the region or whatever, with the subject title of just a question mark. And apparently all the employees at Amazon like dread the question mark email, because you're supposed to drop everything that you're doing and like deal with that email, because it's implied there is a problem.
Directly from Jeff
Bezos. There is a problem. Why is this a problem? Fix this problem right now. And so they're supposed to drop everything. And so what the managers do then is they pass it down the line and they send the question mark email to their inferiors, and their inferiors then have to drop everything that they do. So it quickly just goes down the chain of command to the person who's most directly responsible, who can actually fix the issue. But it's supposed to be done immediately. Like, as soon as you get the question mark email from Jeff Bezos, like, you fix it or you're gone. Like, you do it within the day.
Wow.
It's crazy. But yeah, he does
I
read
wonder
his emails.
how quickly that email, goes down.
Immediately. They're like, it's like red alert
minutes.
kind of thing. Within minutes, yeah.
It goes down to exactly who it needs to go
right
to.
person.
It's like, question mark, oh fuck, no!
Like, you get a text on your phone, check your fucking email. Kind of thing, like, immediately from your boss or something like that.
Wow.
Yes. So it's interesting because you write to corporate, your friend writes to corporate Domino's.
They never hear about the CEO, the people at top never hear about
But they have somebody who was responsible for communicating that concern down to the specific person and say, take care of this. Like, and it got done because you guys got the pizza.
Yeah.
As opposed to a company that's like, oh, it sort of gets lost in the chain and you never end up getting the pizzas.
Yeah.
It's like, good organizations like that make sure customers are appeased.
Yes. Man, that is crazy.
It is.
Wow. I wonder how many emails he gets a day at that.
I don't know, man. Like, you think about it, it's like, it's kind of weird for that to be like, it's
who knows about that? That's not like an advertised thing.
I know it's not, but it was the New York Times that done a piece on Bezos and the way that he like operates his business. And it was more on, the article was actually specifically on how he communicates with his employees and with his customers. And like the whole point of it was that he does have a personal email address that he reads and that he does respond to questions for. Like,
got it.
So it's like, really, the richest man in the world still has a personal email address that's accessible by anybody that you can email, that you could possibly get a personal response from Jeff Bezos himself if there's an issue.
Wow. That's incredible.
It's kind of beautiful, like beautifully brilliant.
Jeff at Amazon.com. Hi, my name is Riggs. Would you like to do a podcast?
Yeah, I wonder how many of those he ends up getting.
Man,
man, we kind of lost track from the wishes, right?
Yeah, so we're still on 3. I did 2. Did you do 2?
So your 2 wishes.
So for all animals to be
Animal
happy, and for all animals to be happy, that includes like getting rid of animal cruelty. All animals be happy, and for people to just not litter, like be aware of their actions.
And mine, my first was that women rule the world.
Oh yeah.
Rule society.
That was a good one.
And the second one, actually, kind of bouncing off of what you're saying, is like in regards to people just knowing how to recycle and all that. Education, man. Like, I would wish that the American education system would just be totally reoriented with a snap of a finger, that we could fix all these like fundamental issues that we have, from like not having adequate funding for textbooks to the basic curriculum of like teaching people things that are totally irrelevant and not necessary. Like, I wish that school would be an enjoyable experience for kids, so that they got the life skills to be able to like critically think and socially interact with everyone else in a way that can make society the most productive.
Life skills, yeah.
Life skills, like that. I wish, so specifically, I guess the education system could be reoriented to focus on critical thinking and basic life skills that are practical, and the rest will take care of it itself. You find your passion, you're going to learn about what you want to learn about.
Yes.
But like, you got to have the life skills to know how to find it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like for me, education system, probably the most intractable issue in American society is like, you can't change the way that our education system runs.
Right.
I wish it would be as easy as the snap of a finger.
Well, we talked about that a little bit before in one of the episodes, where like when you get to junior high or high school, like, and you kind of know what you're interested in, then you study specifically like that area, like it was in Divergent, when they get split up into like groups, kind of a little bit. That's cool. All right, wish number 3.
Wish number 3.
Oh man,
you've been very benevolent with your wishes so far. You've been very worldly oriented. Is there anything in your personal life that you like wish for yourself? Is there a selfishness element, or your wish is altruistic?
Yeah, okay. Here, just to switch it up. Here's one that would be, well, you could call it selfishness, but I wish that I could have. We're gonna go materialistic on this one. Like, it would be great if in the future I can have a house in the hills, or like Beverly Hills maybe. It doesn't need to be like this crazy mansion or anything, but ideally I'd want like a big ass house with a maid and a butler. I don't want to cook my own meals. I want someone to prepare them for me. Have a pool. I don't need shit like tennis court, basketball court, like all this crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I would want a big ass yard. A huge, so
Amen,
maybe not in the hill, maybe not in the hills, because there's not
like
a whole lot of space. I want to have a house with a driveway that's like gravel,
like Will Smith's,
rocks,
like away from the world.
Yes,
kind of like
yes,
the ranch and the endless
big ass
fields.
house with a huge ass yard. And on my property, I would also have like one or two of almost every animal. Like, I explained to you this that one time. I want this property with like mallards, some dogs, cats, including lions and tigers that I could like give hugs and just play with. And all these animals, birds, and have all these crazy animals that just be my friends, and I could run out into the yard and like lie on the grass, and all of them come running towards me and just want to play with me.
Oh man!
So I kind of went back to like wish number 3 a little bit.
Oh, I like that. That is nice.
I want a helicopter. I go to learn how to fly a helicopter, have my own private jet, and live the life of one who has billions of dollars.
Oh my goodness.
Millions, doesn't billions.
It doesn't
almost
even matter,
too much money to
too much money to count. Yeah,
but have like unlimited money, and have all my other wishes. Then I could just build and construct anything that I want.
There you go. Yeah, the standard.
Yeah.
I would go. It's interesting because I'm split on my third one.
Or real quick.
Yeah, go.
If I had any wish, I would want to have the ability to travel through time.
Oh my god. I didn't even.
And then I can play the stock market and still have millions of dollars. The ability to travel through time.
The knowledge. Wow. Yeah, because that's basically unlimited knowledge.
Yes.
The ability to travel through time is
I would want
access
the
to
ability to travel
unlimited
through
power,
time.
basically. Because you know everything. Like, there's nothing that would ever surprise you. There's
I don't
nothing
know
that
if I'd want to. It would be cool because it would be cool to travel to the future, but I wouldn't want to know things that would screw with my present.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't want to go see my future self. I would just want to go into the future just to see the technology and to see the things that are going on in the world. But I wouldn't want to take that information and back to my present and fuck with my present.
Bro, like, I have a feeling that if you were to travel in the future, like 50 years from now and see the technology, you would go into, like, catatonic shock.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be like, this isn't possible. Like, you know, maybe Westworld type shit where you have robots that look exactly like humans. It's just like, what world are we living in?
Well,
right
it was
now?
like they were talking about it in an
probably would be
episode
unrecognizable.
of Nerdist or ID10T where like the technology that comes out today, like like it's believed was like, oh, I can get this because you are able to relate that to other pieces of technology in the area.
Yes.
So it's like, oh, Google Maps. Oh, yeah, because you already have an understanding of what GPS is and what the internet is. So, like, to have this device like an iPhone is like, oh, this is really cool, but it's not going to, like, stop your brain from working. It's so amazing. But imagine, going back 100 years trying to explain
Even 50 years.
Even 50 years trying to explain to somebody, like, oh, yeah, this jet can travel from New York to London in 4 hours. Wait, what?
That's not possible.
No, it is. It's possible.
Can't
Yeah.
happen.
Oh, and see this? Do you want to talk to your friend from on the other side of the country? Here, he's right here. It's like a mirror, but you're not looking at yourself. You're looking at your friend, and they're talking, and you can see what they're doing. It's called FaceTime. Wait, what? They look on the other side of the phone. Like, wait, what?
You want to access all human knowledge? Just
Yeah.
pull up this little square device.
Yeah.
And it has all human knowledge.
Yeah.
Right there. Like, it's yours. Like, for $200.
For sure.
$200, you can have all of human knowledge.
Yeah.
Like, that is just unfathomable. And so you look at, like, because I was even thinking about the culture, the way that the culture operates or society operates. Remember, even before cell phones became a thing, that would have been, 20 years ago or so, the cell phones were, like, not popular. Or, like...
The very first cell phone was devised in, like, the late 70s.
So, but it didn't become a
regular...
a cell phone did not become a commercially available product until...
late 90s,
the late 90s,
2000s, like a regular
early
thing.
2000s. But even around the early 2000s, the aughts, that still wasn't something where you would see news reports, for example. They had the generic stock footage of people walking down the street, a busy, crowded New York street, right?
Yeah.
And the generic thing would be just, faceless bodies walking. Everyone just walking, doing their thing.
Yeah.
Now, 15 years later, you switch it, everyone's
on
head is down. And it's like, the shift is just, it's subtle, but it's, huge, because you're like, wait just a second, all these people, like, just the way that we present ourselves in society, it's like, it's not just one of us, it's all of us. Like, everyone is looking down at their phone as they're walking, as opposed to 10, 15 years ago, where everyone's looking up, and it's like, we've experienced a cultural shift.
Yeah.
Like, in how we are, how we... view the
sure.
world, and no one thinks of it as weird anymore either. Like, people used to be like, oh, all those annoying people who are like looking at their cell phones while they're walking down the street. Now it's like everyone does that. And it's like people are trying to pass
looking
laws
at the weather, reading an article, social media, text message.
What is it? There's an ad going on, something about, they name a stat of like, people now spend like 95% of their lives indoors.
What?
Yeah.
I was yesterday, or not yesterday, like a couple days ago. Not that has any relevance to the actual story, but
that's fine.
I was doing some yard work, and I was like grabbing like dead grass that I was raking out, and I was just like, oh man, like this feels so good in my hand to have this dead grass and some of this dirt. Like it's like I'm connecting right now with the earth. And I was outside, and was wearing sandals, and I took them off, and I was just barefoot in my grass. Mm-hmm. But it just felt so good to, like, have this earth in my hand. It was like,
You know,
feels good. Same thing when I was doing the movie the other day in the forest. I'm walking in the forest and you hear the birds chirping and you see the trees and the wind blows and you can smell, the smells of the forest. You're outside and you're connected and you're just like, again, you breathe in, you breathe out, and you're just like, oh, this is relaxing.
I think that in a previous life, you probably died around 1986.
Me?
You in your previous life,
based on the scientific data that you have
based on
right
the scientific
now.
data. But you were a raging hippie in the 70s who like was totally connected with nature and was one of those people who just was at one with the world, was at one with the wind, and your reincarnation now is experiencing echoes of your past lives.
Oh, yeah.
I really think that if you have any belief in incarnation, reincarnation,
Yeah, for sure.
I could totally see, because I mean, it's like you as a person are relatively normal, I would say, but then you have these visceral experiences that are just like, it's like not necessarily a different person, but it's like, it's unique. It's like there is something that sort of transcends the environment that you were brought up in, right? It comes from outside the world that you were raised and grew up in.
Okay, yeah.
Like, and so it's like, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Yeah, dude, getting in touch with nature is awesome. Backpacking was awesome. Just being alone. I love when it was really cool because I remember when I was backpacking one time, especially when you're backpacking all day and you just sit there and you're tired and maybe you take a nap in the grass or something like that. Like, nature forgets that you're there. Like, you're not, you spend enough time where it doesn't see you as like this outside thing. Like, I was taking a nap and I noticed I think a mouse was on. I was like half asleep and like a mouse started like crawling around on me or something weird. And then I freaked out or something. But it's like, oh, it's cool where you're outside and you're just like chilling out and you can sense that when you're spending enough time outside in one spot, you can sense like nature coming back because it doesn't see you as a threat.
You as a human being, like we as human beings create disturbances wherever we go.
Yes,
and so like we have this
Perfect.
this bubble of like disturbance
Yes.
that completely negates natural nature. And when we just be still and we sit and we are calm and we allow that bubble to shrink and slowly it retreats within ourselves until it is gone and we are one with nature because nature accepts us as no longer a disrupting force within its environment.
That is exactly it.
Yeah, totally, absolutely.
Exactly
it's a beautiful experience because you suddenly start hearing the birds chirp again. Maybe one will land by you or something like that. The animals
squirrels
come back out,
come a little bit closer towards you or something like
squirrels.
that.
Don't even get me started on squirrels and bird feeders. It's been an ongoing battle. We're gonna kill those motherfuckers. No, man, but I and that's why I love being outside so much. Like I love the gazebo in the back of the house as just sitting there and allowing nature to return. It's like, it's such a beautiful experience.
Yeah.
I mean, irreplaceable.
It is great. Man, oh man.
So my last wish, I don't think that
what's your last wish?
Done, it's, I would say I'm torn, right? Because on one hand, like I like the idea of being able to do whatever it is that I've like genuinely just wanted to do. Like right now, I want to be an advocate for like recovery, like for those struggling with like gambling addictions kind of thing. Like I would love the opportunity to just be able to do that and like follow my passion, like write books, like do whatever it is, like, and not have to worry about supporting myself. Like, would love that. But on the other hand, I'm also like, I kind of wish for the lifetime love and support of friends and family, like being able to trust that you are loved through your whole life and that there is no duplicity or deception or stuff like that.
Okay.
That there is just genuine love and compassion between those that I consider within my social world.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Because I feel like for me, love of friends and family, when I get ready to pass away from this world, like I want to be able to look around at a congregation of faces that I have interacted with. It's like not necessarily that I'm the one who like does all these great things and have impacted their lives, but rather it's a tapestry, and it's an interwoven web of social relationships that I want to be able to look at and say, what a beautiful thing that I've experienced.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's one of those wishes that's, maybe it's not unrealistic to, like, think that wish could come true, but I've experienced enough uncertainty in that possibility that I would wish that would be a thing.
Wow. Very cool.
Yeah. Because I don't think it's until you experience deception and deceit and betrayal of friendship and trust that you truly gain an appreciation for the authenticity of the love and respect of friends and family around you. And it's like that you cannot put a price on.
No, not at all. Man, that's a good note to end on.